What's up guys, it's CG. So this is going to be a thorough review of Reflection Man by the House of Amouage. First I'm going to give you guys a rundown so you have a general idea what the fragrance is about. Then I'm going to share how users rated the scent profile and the performance. My wife and I are going to share our impressions of it. And finally I'm going to share my overall opinion having worn it. Without further ado, let's get this started. Okay, to start this off, this fragrance is ranked number 6 on Parfumo. That's our ratings website where people cast their ratings. And then with all things averaged out, the scent profile, the value, the bottle design, the performance, out of all men's colognes in the world, Reflection Man is number 6 on the list. How I would classify the scent is it's a very nice, very unique Eastern soap, kind of like a retro vibe soap if you were to go into a head shop and smell the atmosphere. And imagine that combined with the best soap imaginable. In the top you have rosemary, red pepper berries, bitter orange leaves. In the heart you have neroli, orris, jasmine, yang yang, I think. In the base you have vetiver, patchouli, sandalwood, and cedarwood. The overall scent rating is an 8.5. That's an average of 4,149 users casting their votes as far as to how much they like the fragrance on a scale of 1 to 10. 81% of people like Reflection Man. That's people that voted 8 or above. I feel if you vote an 8, a 9, or a 10, that means you like the fragrance. That's 81% of people. So if you in a room full of 10 people and you show them Reflection Man, 8 of them are going to really like it. And 9 or 10 thinking this fragrance is extraordinary is half of people, which is crazy high number. Me personally, I would give this fragrance an absolute solid 10. Like, it literally gets me giddy when I wear it or when I talk about it. I think it's absolutely amazing. For longevity, I got an 8.1. The real key vote here is an 8. Most people seem to cast an 8. It lasts a decent amount of time for me. I would say it's good, very good for a freshie and just good in general. So I probably would have given it an 8 as well. I mean, it's not like I'm gonna put it on in the morning and still have it when I get home from work, but it's gonna last most of the day and most of the work day. For projection, it got an average rating of a 7.7, which is good. Anything above a 7 means it's good. And 73% of users voted 7 or 8. So that's really the key votes here and what you're likely to take away from this fragrance. You're likely going to say it's good. It's not something that is going to explode a room, but it's definitely not something that is going to be really weak. It's going to push out. I love Reflection Man. So what do I love about it? What does it smell like? How would I describe it to somebody? It is a very deep, very interesting soap. And by deep, I mean it has depth, like it's a thick scent. You know how you can compare like an eau de toilette to a parfum and you can tell the parfum is more dense and more deep? Or I think of fragrances like Sauvage and how deep they are, or Bleu de Chanel Parfum, and then I compare them to like Nautica Voyage, which is a lighter scent. This is very deep, and because of that, it smells very expensive. I actually got a compliment where somebody just straight up said, "What are you wearing?" I told them what it was, and they say, "That smells really expensive." And it does, and that's something that I find very special about Reflection Man. And as far as what it smells like imagine going into an Earthbound and just smelling a bar of soap and it being so immersive and having almost like that Earthbound hippie vibe going. And that's one thing I love about Amouage in general. What they did with Jubilation 25 and Reflection Man is when you hear Middle Eastern cologne, they all have that oudi, ancient Middle Eastern vibe, but this is very modern, and I get that with Jubilation too, and it's very unique. It's Eastern. It's almost like a retro shop, you know, like a head shop. It's not like Middle Eastern is in ancient Egypt. So this isn't Middle Eastern like off the plane in Saudi Arabia. This is more Middle Eastern like Bob Marley and a Bentley. It has that kind of hippie aesthetic to it, but it also has a modern, put together, classy feel. And in it, you're gonna get hit with some florals, and the florals are neutral. You're not really, I'm not really sitting there thinking white or rose or any type of specific floral, almost just the freshness of florals and a sweetness and a boldness to it along with the Middle Eastern vibe. And it's very unique, but it's not so unique that it's gonna be off-putting. I think a lot of people are gonna wonder what you're wearing, and not a lot are gonna wonder why you're wearing it. Like, that's the thing with niche fragrances. You go too far in the unique direction, and you'll have people giving you a compliment, but in reality, they're secretly wondering why you're wearing that to work. And then if it's not unique enough, you don't really feel like it justifies the price tag, because you can get that anywhere, even at Ross. This is just that perfect balance. It's just unique enough, and it's extremely versatile. I consider it like the king of versatility, in the sense, I imagine a 19-year-old could pull this off, or a 60-year-old. I imagine I could wear this to a professional, super formal environment, or I could wear this on a day going to the beach. Like, literally, Reflection Man is just, in my opinion, the king of that. Even in the winter it works because of that density it has. And then in the summer it works because of that freshness it has. It's just such a versatile, amazing scent. And comparing it to Reflection 45, which demands a higher price tag, I prefer Reflection Man simply for that versatility. I mean, with Reflection 45, you get a bit more longevity. They're very similar to each other. The 45 DNA is a bit more ambery, whereas this is more floral and fresh. But because of this is fresh, it can work in literally 100+ degree weather, where I think Reflection 45, you lose some of that versatility for that longevity. And even if the price were the same, I would still go for Reflection Man. I just like that freshness and lightness about it. Some people will say that it smells like a bit like tortilla or milled corn flour. I think it's called masa harina or whatever. People from Hispanic origin, especially, that have been really around that, like the flour they use to make tortillas, they could tell it's in it, but most times they don't mind. And I had a friend where it bothered him, and then I showed it to him later on, like I'm talking 6 months later, and now he really likes the scent and says it's amazing. He could still detect the tortilla, but he doesn't mind because there's so much goodness around it with that floral and that depth and that sweetness. So the people that don't like this tend to think it smells like tortillas, and they can't get their mind past that. And I understand that. I have the same issue with cumin as a note. Like, no matter how great the rest of the fragrance is, I just can't get past that note. But I find it hard to believe anybody would find this like too basic or not good smelling and not well composed and not deep and expensive smelling. This is just an amazing scent. I give it an absolute 10. It is a 10 of a 10.
Okay, so we have Amouage Reflection. Wow, the bottle is really pretty. It has like a little pink stone right here, and I love that for me. Okay. Yes, I really do like this one a lot. Like, this is a favorite for me. It smells amazing. Now let me try to describe it, because it is very complex. Very hard to describe. I would imagine that there is like a little bit of ginger spice, but there's also a lot of floral in it and a lot of green in it. That was my best shot. But does it smell great? Yes. You don't have to be necessarily a mature or older guy to wear it. You're 25 years old wearing this, you're winning from the jump. The whole year you could probably do this and you'll be fine. And if I meet you for the first time and you're wearing this is a 9.5, which is like the highest rating that I give, if you've been following that. Very good, excellent. I love Amouage Reflection. Oh, interesantemente, the dry down kind of stays very similar to the opening. There's not like a galactic change. It stays pretty much the same, but maybe slightly more powdery, but the opening and the dry down is very similar.
So my opinion of Reflection Man should be obvious by now. It's something I'll always keep in my collection. I feel it's actually one of the few fragrances that on the discounters is actually underpriced for what it delivers. It's amazing. I think it's an essential part of my collection, and I definitely connect to other people that really like this fragrance. We see eye to eye. Like, I sometimes see people rant and rave about how much they love Reflection Man, and I'm like, it's like that scene on Step Brothers. I'm like, bro, are we best friends now? Like, for real? Like, I feel the same way. Like, this is just a powerhouse. So yeah, feel free to comment with y'all's opinions and subscribe for future content. Peace out.